Good evening to everyone who's joined, and welcome to the Whole Division podcast. I am your hostess, First Lady Chidzz, Divine, whatever you want to call me. You can call me anything because I will answer to most things these days. I'm doing, trust me, it gets crazy. I am doing another collaboration with Triggered Thoughts podcast. I feel like it's something that I need to do all the time now. It's something that's needed. Do you get me? And it's something that's definitely needed. So I have with me Dan, the official genius man. Welcome.
Less.
And we have the one and only, the only one, Verbz. Welcome.
Don't know. Welcome.
Welcome, guys. Welcome. But yeah, we got a few topics for you today. And our first topic is something that we all wanted to discuss. It's something that we've all talked about, had little conversations about, but it's something that we wanted to highlight and we wanted to bring to the surface. So we're going to go with that first. The first topic is the lack of support within our community. Big topic, big question, big thing. It's a big thing. And do you know what, Verbz? I'm going to come to you first. I'm going to ask you what.
Yes, well done, Chidi.
No,
well
you know
done.
what?
I'm going to say that,
Verbz. I'm going to pick on Verbz this week.
Well done. My friend for life, You're reading my mind, thinking, I hope she got
Oh, I'm hearing feedback. I'm losing reception.
No, you're not. You're lying.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
My brother, Verbz. Talk to me about the lack of support within our community. What does that mean to you?
In what capacity are we talking, though? I just want to make sure I'm on the right page.
We're talking about. I'll tell you what. Let's talk about it in the sense of we're all content creators. We're all out here doing our thing, trying to spread a message. You know what I'm saying? We're all trying to put something out there. How have you found it in terms of, people supporting you and, your followers or, just anyone that you may know, anything like that?
I'd say, from my perspective or from my lens, it's been crazy. It's been crazy still. I would say we've had strangers support us from the beginning, like a very close knitted, tight few that have always been there from the start, innit? But when we've tried to reach out to other people, other content creators, just to ask, well, what I have anyway, just to try and ask ideas and, get some feedback or some important advice to kind of get this thing going. Because how I see it, if, we was up there doing our thing and people were new coming into the industry and they were like, look, I don't really know what's going on. Is there any important advice you could give me? I'll be happy to share that, because as far as I'm concerned, the table's big enough for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Big enough for everyone to eat, man.
100%. You know what I'm saying? But I realize maybe a few people might not like these kind of things because the numbers of the people in the live is dropping down as I'm speaking. But listen.
But you know what? So, one thing about Instagram, I wouldn't watch Instagram because how many people watch, but it doesn't show you,
Oh, is it?
It actually doesn't show you. Yeah, Instagram's very buggy. It's really bad.
Yeah, it is.
Really bad.
They control it anyway, innit? But yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, the table's big enough for everybody, innit? You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a collective of people that want to kind of get in there and close the door and keep your collective in there, it can be that, if you get what I'm saying. But if everybody has the sort of vision to say, you know what, anybody who's creative can come in there and, you know what I mean, make this industry a better place and bring all different dynamics to the table, it can be that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's mad because, I'm quite a considerable age, I would say, quite a wise age. And I feel like growing up, the mentality of people supporting you with things, whether it was you was trying to be a footballer or trying to get in this industry or that industry, was completely different. I think now we're in a time now where a lot of people, for me, I feel like are self-centered. They're operating on selfishness. Once they get there, they close the door and they're not trying to have any input.
Yeah.
For me, that's why back in the day there was more of a community in it. It was evident. If that makes
Yeah.
sense, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
lived in an area, you knew your neighbors. If you didn't eat, your neighbors, you wouldn't even have to ask your neighbors. Your neighbors would bring stuff to you. Do you get me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
And it was
100%.
now, fat chance of that happening now, mate. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, people are watching you drop over in the street and step over you, just carry on and be doing what they're doing. And
Yep.
that is, you know, I was having a conversation with a friend the other night, and she was saying, "Oh, you know, what topics have you got coming up?" And I mentioned this topic to her, and she said, "Do you know what? Do you think it could be a thing that sometimes people have so much going on in their lives, right? Like especially nowadays, yeah, that they're not really focused on what anyone else is doing." And I can kind of hold testament to that because I'm not the type of person I will talk. Do you know me? Like I will support everyone and anyone as long as your heart is clean and your intentions are pure. If I see you doing your thing, I will support it. Yeah, but there's a lot of things that I actually don't see because I am so busy doing other things. But as soon as I see it, I will share it. I will like it. I will comment. I'll really take it in. But then I think also as well, on the other hand, people see what you're doing. They see exactly what you're doing because I've also, you know, the contrast. I've had conversations with people and they're like, "Oh yeah, I see you're da 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 da," and I'm like, "So you've seen it?" And then like what? Or you'll
That's
hear
the
that
thought, yeah.
that people are having conversations about you, but I'm like, why can't you have that conversation with me? Because I
It's
like to
true.
hear the feedback. I'd like to know what I can do to improve, or you know, if you've got any topics that you want speaking about, then I will take that off you. Do you get me? And it's just for me, it's people are weird, isn't it? And a lot of people do operate from a place of ego, and if they see other people doing certain stuff and it's, you know, and it's good and it's got substance, people will hate on that. They definitely will. But then as soon
100%.
as they're doing something, yeah, they straight away, "Oh, can you repost this for me? Or can you do this for me? And can you do," and I'm like, but you know
100%, yeah.
me, I'll still do it, you know. I'll still post your shit.
Yeah.
I'll still repost your fuckery because I'm not you. I'm who I am. And for me, I want us all to win, innit? That's the type of
100.
person I am. But some people
It's
do
breaking
not.
up, innit? You've seen this.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, is it breaking up? But I just feel like yeah, at the end of the day, if you see somebody doing something,
It's
yeah, even if it's not
it's
your kind of
crazy,
thing,
man.
just do you know what I mean? Just show a little bit of support, or just a little, I don't know, a little reshare or something. I don't see how hard it is. It doesn't take long. It
Yeah.
doesn't take long at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Dan, are you okay over there?
Hear me? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can hear
yes.
you, yeah.
Yeah, there was a little freeze going on.
Oh, right. Okay. But yeah, Verbz, I fully agree with you. Back in the day, it was totally different when the internet wasn't so huge and, you know, everything wasn't sort of focused around social media. People were actually supporting each other. Big up everyone in the comment section as well. But yeah, people were actually really supporting each other in real life. And that's what I think it is. It's the real life thing. And then when people see you kind of elevating and they see you doing more, they want to be all involved. They
Well,
really
this
want
is
to get
it.
put up in there.
Yeah, this is it. That's the next thing. Do you know what I mean? I remember back in the day when me and Genius first started this thing and we put out a little, you know, add-on on social media to say like anybody wanna join in if they got anything they want to talk about or whatever, holler at us. Not one. Not one person, you get me? Now, we're not even massive like that at all. I'm not even sitting there with no ego. Even if we were big, I ain't got an ego. I'm humble.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, now, the amount of messages we get with people wanting to be on this thing is shocking.
Yeah. For real.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're not holding no grudges or whatever because it is what it is. But it's just like, you know, like, there's certain people I understand that follow us that don't want to go on camera. And they've let it be known to us, isn't it, Genius?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've let it be known they're not the camera type people, but they continue to support and, you know, put their comments in and post and, you know what I mean? And we got love for them, you know what I mean? You know, so, but then there's certain people that don't holler at all, act like they don't see your thing, then later on, they want to jump on your thing. You know what I'm saying? And, we're humble enough to say, all right, come, jump on, get involved. But at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, man, I remember you lot kind of, cold-shouldered, man, in the beginning. But I don't know, and we move, man. I ain't holding no grudges, you get me?
People are really strange. I feel like the older I get, I really think that human beings are the strangest living things on the planet. Like I've been called weird for doing podcasting. I've been called also like people will say all sorts, and I'm like, are you that like? Do you really not like yourself that much that you have to focus? Like you have to look at what I'm doing. How can you look at what I'm doing as a negative thing? I don't get it. And it got to a point where I looked back and I went back and I watched all the different episodes and I thought, well, there's nothing weird about that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't, but then if you can't allow other people to make you question what you're doing, you really can't. And that's one big thing I've definitely learned. And I also believe
100%.
I saw a quote today, and it was, this is how you know that divine timing and alignment is a real thing, because I saw a quote today and it said, I saw your people not supporting you, so I sent you strangers. And it was
Wow.
like
Deep.
the universe, and I thought, if that is not a sign, see me a long time ago, because I feel like I used to get upset when my friends weren't supporting me. I got upset when they weren't liking the post of this, that, and the other. But that was me just being in my feelings and wanting to be validated by other people. I don't need that validation from the people that know me. I don't need the validation from the people or the people that think they know me. You know what I'm saying? This is for anybody. If it resonates with one person, then I'm still winning. And that's what I've learned about it. But the biggest lesson I've learned about all this, it's going to be people that you don't know that are going to support you the most, the people that you connect with.
Trust me,
You know what I'm
talking
saying?
truth.
And that's why I'm going to come
I
over
can
to
identify.
you, Dan. I'm going to come to you, Dan. I'm going to come to you. Talk to me.
Oh man, answer to this question, first and foremost, I had a long think, obviously, when we initially thought about this topic, and I made some notes, and one thing I could say is definitely the big contributor to this is hate and jealousy. You know what I mean? Sometimes when people know that you're going to win or that they know you're going to do good, you will find there's going to be a lack of support. And I find that this is a major problem amongst our own people. This is what I mean? We will support those people that have millions of followers, tens of thousands of followers. Yeah, we jump on the bandwagon with these people that everybody's following everybody in terms of numbers. But when people see that you're starting up, you're building, it's like they don't see that vision. They just think, you know what? This is what I mean? Like they don't want to support, they don't want to share, but they would more share a complete stranger. And for me, it's a big question, and it's one of the main reasons why our people are stagnated. We don't elevate where we should be.
Yes.
I've said Verbz will confirm this. I've said to him time and time again, like, look, if you look at the structure of the Indian culture, they work together, Chidi. Does that mean?
Yeah.
If you look at the amount of neighborhoods, they own most of the shops. They even have shops without selling our own products. Not saying that hats off to them. Does that mean? But they've got their hands in every pie. And you know what it is they have this togetherness. You see what I mean? They work closely together. If they know that there's a shop down the road that's renting, they will tell their brother, you know what? There's that shop that's renting, let's work together. You rent that, you buy that shop, and then they just what I mean, and there's no hating or someone trying to outdo this one or this one try. Does what I mean?
Yeah.
And I find that with our people, we'll try and overprice things. Do you know what I mean? And that's a big question, because when you do that, it's not even. And I will support our people all day, every day. I haven't got a problem with that. But when I'll try an example. A Kit Kat is, let's say, 50p. Going to a black shop now, it's like £1.50, and it's like, like why? That's just an example. It's like why? Do you know what I mean? And obviously, I understand that everybody's got to eat, but you've got to be realistic at the end of the day. Because if you're going to overprice things, people are just going to go to the person that's cheaper. And it's not even a thing where they don't want to support their own. It's a thing where, like, well, come on, man, like, really? I'll support you, but that's like you're charging double when I can get it for much cheaper. Does that what I mean? So it's stuff like that.
Mm.
Also feel there's a lack of communication, you know,
Yes, big.
and trust as well within our community. You know, there's a lot of bad mindedness that goes on, you know, within our community. Does that what I mean? You know, people intentionally doing things to sabotage, you know, people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people will go out their way to be very malicious. Does that what I mean? And this is just, you know, one of many things. And until we can really just, you know, come together as a people and start to, you know, really look within ourselves and put aside a lot of these stuff, the hatred, the malice, the bitterness, just what I mean, trying to outdo each other, the competition.
Yes.
There's a number of things we will always be kind of at the bottom of that. That makes sense, and that doesn't go for everyone. Does that what I mean? It goes for those that know what they're doing. Does that what I mean?
Exactly. That's what I mean. If it feels personal, and I've said this many times, like I've said some things on my podcast. You know me, I don't care. I don't hold back. I'm not holding back for no one. I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just speaking the truth, innit? And say to them,
Yeah,
if it sits with you, yeah, and you have to think about it, then you're obviously guilty of it. And that's a you problem. That's nothing to do with me. My heart's
yeah,
clean. My intentions
yeah,
are pure. I sleep at night. I'm
yeah.
good. And this is what
It's true.
this is the big problem within our community, within the Black community, especially London and stuff. Obviously, I live in Cardiff, yeah, but I find, you know, the London community rotten, mate, and I'll say it. I'll say it with chest, rotten. The London, the Black London community, rotten. There's so much hate, jealousy, greed. Like with me, luckily, I've been able to connect with great people who are on the same frequency as myself, but it's taken me a long time to get there. The hate, the jealousy, the foolishness, do you get me? The ego, and I'm just like, like, what's your problem? What's wrong with you? I used to always try and understand why people operate the way they do, and now sometimes you just can't. It's not about understanding it. That's just who they are. And when people show you who they are, you have to believe them, and you have to say, do you know what? This is not in alignment with who I am and what I'm doing and my vision. So let me just leave that over there. Keep watching, though, innit? Because you're keeping my views up, so it's fine. It's all good.
You know, and next thing as well, and next thing I'll say as well, there's a lack of trust amongst the community members.
100%.
So I mean, you know, you find that even, you know, people that should kind of be, you know, set an example or be leading by example, you find that a lot of them, they're corrupt. Even some of the stuff that they're doing, they exploit people. You see what I mean? And then you find that you know, they end up running away with funds. There's just so much stuff, you know what I mean? And then a stigma is left, you know what I mean? A negative stigma is left, you know what I mean? And for the people such as yourself that are genuine, that's, you know, coming up, it's like people just don't know if they can really trust people, you know what I mean? And it's sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad, you know what I mean?
So true. Shantae says some things aren't meant to be understood but accepted, and that is so true. So true. Right? Let me say that again. Some things aren't meant to be understood but accepted, and it's like, you know, I've had conversations with people, like new people that I'm connecting with, and then I had a conversation with this woman the other day, and she said to me, "You really are just genuinely who you are, innit?" And I said, "Yeah, like what?" For me, it's too much to put on an act. It's too much. I ain't got that kind of energy in me to do that. Do you get me? I can only ever be myself. And I spent so many years suppressing myself because, you know, when sometimes you think you might be a bit too much for people or whatever. But I'm just naturally a lover, and I want to see everyone thrive in it. And I know that sometimes people might question and think, well, is this woman really? Is she really about that? But I am. Because if I wasn't, I'm telling you straight, I wouldn't even entertain it. If I ain't about something, I'm not entertaining it. And it's sad that I know not everybody can be the same. And I would never want anyone to ever be the same, because that's what separates us all. And it's a different element and stuff. But just have a cleaner heart. Like, I just find like a lot of people ain't got clean hearts, man. They ain't got your best intentions at heart. It's weird.
It's true. It's true.
Strange. So strange, man. But I just think that if we can all support each other, especially within the Black community, we've got it hard anyway. Do you know what I mean? We always have to, we have to work that little bit harder. We're all struggling. Everyone's struggling. Every human being. regardless of their color. But black people have to struggle and they have to work that little bit harder because we get labeled as things as like
100%.
aggressive and angry and all of these things.
The
When it's
ugly flag,
not,
it's
you
true.
know what I'm saying?
It's true.
But we're not. We're just passionate, and we're go-getters. And we if we have a vision, we're looking. It's like we have. It's weird because we've got a vision, yeah, but our vision is not tunnel. It's going here and here and here and here. And do you know what I'm saying? Like when I saw you guys, I was like, yo, I need to collaborate with these guys. These guys are, do you get me? They're onto something. And I think if we just accepted that when we all come together as a collective, yeah, it's more powerful. It
100%.
really is. But like, what's wrong with people though? Like, talk to me, guys. What's going on?
Well, they want that power for themselves. They don't want to share no power. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then that's ego though, isn't it? It's coming from a place of ego because you're there. Like I've seen people and they're there, they've got a vision and their vision might be great, yeah, but because of the way they go on, they ain't never gonna get nowhere. Because I just think, yeah, that whatever you believe in, whether it's God, whether it's the universe, it's all one and the same, yeah. You are not gonna be gifted. Your manifestations are not gonna come into fruition, yeah, if you've got a bit of bad mind in the back of your head.
100%.
It's not going to happen for you. It's
100%,
definitely not going to happen. Yeah, man. And there's a way, there's power in being seen, yeah, but untouched. And I think like there's just some people out there, they want to be seen so badly, yeah. They'll do anything, say anything. I'm just like, oh, what is going on?
There's a few of them out there, mate. I'll tell you that much.
There's quite a few. It's quite a yeah, man. It's quite disturbing, and I just think with me, my biggest issue is that is my fellow black women. Like, what one for you, innit? I just don't get it. That's why I just don't really fuck with women, really.
So what do you experience then when you're dropping that on their head?
God,
tell us, man.
You'll get like, don't get me wrong, the women that I fuck with now, with very few, but the women that I do fuck with now, they are on the same page, and the energy, it's all, do you get me? It's all on a level. But the things I've experienced, they'll see you, they like your energy, they want certain things, all right. So they'll say, oh, look, I'm doing this, and I want you to come along and speak and whatever. When you see other people actually like what you're saying, what you bring to the table and stuff, women, jealousy, straight away. The jealousy, awful, yeah. Like the people I do, like I've done podcasting with and whatever and stuff. And when we first started Hold the Vision, we started it was a unity. It started from a comment on somebody's post, yeah. And we just decided to form this. And it's like some of the people I haven't known for too long, but some of the people I've known for really long. Do you get me? But we always remain professional in what we do. And then I find like with the women, especially because I'm around men and stuff, when they find out that I've known the men for a certain amount of time, they just start being haters. Do you get me? And they start just involving themselves. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, to me, I could never be jealous of another woman, you know, because I'm a woman myself. So why would that's like being jealous of myself. For me, I look at other women and I say, do you know what, as a collective, if we actually come together and created this sisterhood, yeah, it would be actually beautiful. But especially, and it's always black women. Always black women. The white women don't do it. And I'll say it with I don't care. I do not care. All the bad mind, the bad energy, literally all the foolishness that I've experienced as a black woman have come from other black women. It's never been from a white woman, an Asian woman, a Chinese woman. No, it's always a black woman. I'll tell you straight. And Shantae says, a lot of us, myself included, lack the structure because we haven't seen anyone close to us with a proper blueprint to obtain the vision. And young people like Tay says, agreed, they don't want you to grow.
Like Tay.
Honestly.
And big,
and then
that's a real one now.
I know that name. And then Shantae says, I've observed that behavior as well. I trust that comes from a lack of security, confidence, and knowing who they are themselves. And I couldn't agree more. That's exactly what I always think that when I just think like, Right, luckily, the circle of black women that I've got around me, they're just cool. Do you get me? And we're very
Mm,
open and honest with each other and stuff. And it's actual sisterhood. And I never ever thought, like, I'm big 38 now, and it's taken me all these years to actually find that. To
Mm.
actually, and the way I found it was by being myself and by gravitating
mm,
towards people who are actually in alignment with what I want to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm
mm,
saying? Yeah, but it's
yeah.
crazy. How do you find it both as black men, yeah, and your brothers? How do you find the support there? What's that been saying for you, though?
Verbs, do you want to go or should I go?
You go first.
Yeah. You find strangers support you more. Yeah, that's a fact. You know, shout out to Sonny Son and all the ones that support us and yourself as well too. Like you've been
Big up yourself.
phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like you've been phenomenal. You know, and for me, you know, I said to Verbs, you know, shout out to my cousin Verbs. You know, I said to him as well, Verbs, you know, will do the videos and promote. And you know, I said to you the other day as well, Shitty, like it should never have to take for you know, I wouldn't even say it's begging, but you know for you to say to someone, you know, share my stuff. If you want to see people win,
Mm,
if you really care about what that person is doing, you will support, you know,
mm,
Mm.
regardless. It'll be
mhm.
in you to just naturally share. Anyone that knows me, I don't even have to say I will share stuff. Does that mean? Irrespective of who you are. Does that mean?
Mhm.
Because I want to see you win. That's me. I will post up your stuff on stories, on my WhatsApp. That's me. I'll do it naturally. That's in me. I do it naturally. Does that mean?
Yes.
And I shouldn't have, it should never be a thing of, you know, give to receive. I don't believe, oh, because I've done this, you owe me. No. If you genuinely want to see someone be successful, you want to see them win, what is it for you to just say, you know what? These guys are doing something different, you know, follow them, support them, subscribe,
Yeah.
share. Because just by that one person sharing, that person shares, and then before you know it, does that what I mean?
Mm.
You've gone clear. But you know
Exactly.
what it is? I come to realize that not everyone has the kind of hearts that we've got. Does that mean? Not everyone kind of has the way, you know, the same thought process as that. Does that mean? Some
Mm,
people kind of, you know, just look at it as, oh, wow. But I guarantee you, the minute we hit the millions or, you know, all of a sudden tens of thousands, all of a sudden now, everyone comes flocking in. Why? Because everyone, they're the center of attention. It shouldn't have to be that. Look at
mm,
the smaller guy. Look at the little people that are starting from nothing, coming into something. They support the little guy. That's what I mean. The one that's maybe got 2 followers, 3 followers.
mm.
Support them, man. What is it? It's not costing you anything
And do you know
to
what?
support. Does that what I mean?
Yeah, do you know what I found as well, Dan?
Mm,
Sorry to cut you there, but do you know what I found? It's also about by association as well. Because you know when
mm,
people find out that you know certain people or whatever, whatever. Like last week we was on a live and
mm,
um our friend China came on, yeah, to
mm,
talk
Mm.
about his experience and stuff.
mm.
You know the amount of people, yeah, that was in my DMs afterwards. Oh, I didn't know
Hundred
you were
percent.
kind of like that.
Hundred
And no, no,
percent.
no, 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 no.
Say
And
no more. I can imagine. That's mad.
you're like, oh, you were just speaking to him normal, like, I was like, yeah, because he ain't a celebrity, you know. Like,
Mm.
no one's a celebrity. Like, see, and even if you are a
Trust me.
celebrity, yeah,
Yeah.
like, big up China each and every time. Absolutely love him. But no, I know the guy in real life, do you get me? So I ain't gonna see me. I don't get starstruck. I don't
Mm.
get gas because I'm talking to anybody. Do you get me? Because to me, you could be the top at the top, yeah, and you're still just a human being in a world of
Yeah.
how many. I ain't gonna like overly rate you just because. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna do that. I'll rate you as a person if I want to rate you as a person, but
Mm.
I ain't gonna overly get gassed up because I'm on a live with a certain person.
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
crazy to me. That's absolute. And people are weird though. Like, do you know, because if they see somebody who's maybe gone viral or whatever, whatever, they get so excited. But
Yeah,
you
it's
know
mad.
what?
Mm,
There's a guy out there who's probably got 3 followers and he's spitting facts on a daily basis, probably
Mm.
yeah.
speaking more sense than some of these people who go viral, but you're not
Mm,
supporting him and you ain't rating
yeah.
him and you ain't bigging him up. Do you know what I mean? I don't get it. It's
It's true.
strange.
It's
I'm
true.
going to read a couple of these comments. So, young people
Mm,
like Tay said, I found this all good until you grow. Oh, wait there. Hang on. Let me go back. Because there's a few comments. Uh, wait there. Sorry, guys. Um, sorry. Sorry, there's quite a few comments I missed actually. So young people like Tate said, find it's all good until you grow. This is why I say if you want to see who wants you to win, dare to grow in front of them. As soon as you start to grow, they find fault. And
100%.
they're too busy trying to figure out how to teeth. Oh my God, that's a real thing. Like they don't understand. They're just people. And it's so true. People are just human beings in a world of how many. I do not get excited over humans. I get excited when I see people win. I get excited when I see people who are genuine and actually doing their thing. That's when I get excited, isn't it? But yeah,
100%.
crazy world we live in. Crazy world we live
Tell me about it,
in.
man.
I'm just
Tell me about it.
China came on and you got groupies up in your
yeah.
DMs after that. That's mad.
I just thought, hey, you all right? Like, and the thing is, don't get me wrong. I was supporting China. I'll always support China if he's in the right. If he's in the wrong, I ain't supporting him. But what his experience and what he went through was a real thing, and it resonated because, like I said on the live, I'm from London. I went to high school in Cardiff, and I've worked in Cardiff, and it's been tough as a black woman being in this environment. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was just something that resonated with me. That could be, it could have been China, could have been anybody in that situation. And if I saw it and picked up on it, I would have reacted the same. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like it's not. It just so happened to be China, but then people are like, "Oh, you know, China," and then I'm like, like get a grip, man. Sort your life out.
A few people misconstrued that video, you know.
I know they did.
Yeah, a few people thought that, like, a few people that I know was coming to me and saying things like, "Oh, like, cause it's him. It's like he lined up the thing or it's fake, like to get views on that or whatever." But I'm saying, nah, man, like I've been in them situations. That's authentic. That woman didn't know when to start. You know what I mean?
It's a real thing. And that's why I picked up on it, because it resonated, because I thought, you know what, like, cause when we were on there, I said, of all the people it could have happened to, it had to be you, didn't it, Chai? It had to be you. And, you know, we can laugh about it because it's him, but when you look at the situation, it's not funny. The woman's dread. This woman, I've been in this woman's, in the same place as her twice, and she's absolutely vile. She really, really, like, she's actually disgusting. She uses black people to do what she's doing. She's a strange woman. But no, but big up Kat. Yeah. She definitely, like,
she got black people all over her thing, man. I already looked at it before she blocked out everyone and that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
This woman will go Africa and do you get me, charity work and that, and then she's putting black women at the front of things and, you know, collaborating with these beautiful beings. She's disgusting. And she calls herself a life coach. And as somebody, I'm a life coach myself, I remember I was on a Teams meeting and I had to bring it up. I sent it in the group and everyone watched it and they were like, Raj, she's still at it, you know? And I was like, oh my God, is she known for things? And they were like, yeah, she's known for shit like that. It's crazy.
Man, as soon as I saw that video and I saw who it was she was approaching, I just laughed and I said, oh my God, that's the worst person you could have approached in that situation, you know? Yeah, but I was quite happy because I was watching it thinking that China might get a bit loud with it, if you get what I'm saying. But the way he like held kept his composure and dealt with her and, you know what I mean, outsmarted her intelligently. I was like, you know what, I have to give him ratings for that. Still, he done it right. But if that was me, that woman would have got a sweep.
That's what I said. See me, she would have got one box in her face, I would have kicked off, but he kept it. Do you know what I mean? He kept it very, very gentlemanlike, and he just addressed the issue and stuff, and he still hasn't had an apology, but I told him he's not going to go in. He ain't going to get an apology, so you might as well keep it moving. But it just goes to show that this is something that happens to black people all the time. The time. Vibes 0723 says, bless up China for keeping real and humble. Young people like Tay said, it's definitely not fake. I tried to talk to her about it. She couldn't hear me though. Too busy swearing she isn't racist. Oh wow, But this is what I mean. A lot of people think she's a lovely person. But this is what we can do. We can portray, you know, what we can portray that we're one way to one set of people and portray another way to another set of people. And this is what's dangerous about some of these people out here, you know, calling themselves influencers and life coaches and all that shit. Like
But
people
you
are just
see,
giving themselves
life coaches. They need to sort out their
kid,
life about
kid,
life
can I say
coaches.
something? Can I say
messy.
something? Listen, yeah, like, don't get me wrong. All right, cool. I'm not even gonna. If you know, if people know her personally and say she's not racist or whatever, cool. Like, I get it. Yeah, but for me, I'm not even being funny, bruv. Like, when you start uttering certain things like that, you can't come out and say give an apology and then say it's just that you had a bad day or you was glazed or you was under the influence or I don't care what it is. From that come out of your mouth, bruv, like there's no excuse. You've got that sort of bone in your body as far as I'm concerned. You might not reveal it too much, but you've got it in you. You get me? Because if I was having an argument with a white person, bruv, and they were blazing me up, I'm not opening my mouth and saying racist bars about skin color.
Same. Because why?
You know what I'm saying? I'm not. You see what I'm saying?
Man. Yeah, it's sad. It's just like young people like Tay said, it's ingrained in her, so she will always justify, and that's what it is. From the time you know them. Oh, my best friend's black. Oh no.
Yeah,
Nah, stop it.
Nah.
Stop it.
Nah.
I've heard that.
Just stop.
And she didn't even get angered, man. She just walked past and saw a congregation of men doing their own thing that were black and started her shit. Like, you get me? And I think she dug herself a deeper hole because China was outsmarting her intellectually, and she realized, and she was trying to get back at him intellectually to prove something. But every time she opened her mouth, she was just putting in insult after insult.
Nah, for real. Young people like Tay said, we have to keep an eye on her though. Can't not follow her. I want to see the audacity. I love that. 100%. I think she blocked me.
Yeah, I think she's already tried to make some kind of like spoke about it.
Oh god.
Yeah, she blocked loads of people. Anybody who was commenting on her thing, she was blocking them. So, and I mean, why would you do that if you're actually being genuine? Yeah, and it was a genuine thing, and you didn't mean that. She's just chatting shit. She killed her when she said drug dealers. It was that.
Mad.
It was that. It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy times. But you know, it is what it is, and some people just need help. All we can do is just pray for their healing, innit, and hope that she heals still.
I ain't praying for her healing, man. She needs to get swallowed up somewhere, man.
This is why I love Verbz, because I'm trying to be nice, innit?
Oh wow, that says she reminds her of Katie Hopkins.
Yeah,
100%. You're right.
She does Katie Hopkins vibes. Like that's the first thing. I was like, oh my god, this woman, she's different. But you know, hey ho, the world needs some, innit? The world needs some. But yeah, like, and this is like the going into the seeking validation from others. Seeking validation from other people is a very, very dangerous thing. I think if we seek validation from others, then we're never going to get ahead in life. Because you can't sort of live your life worrying about what other people think about you. You really can't. What are your thoughts on that, Verbz, about the seeking a validation thing?
You know what? I'm not going to lie. I was like that at one stage. You know what I mean? Seeking validation from people, especially family, innit? You know what I mean? And friends family, and that. Yeah. And, you know, after a while, I was looking at my life and I was thinking certain things, certain dreams that I wanted to achieve, like fairly big dreams. I didn't achieve them because every time I come to those people for validation, they just shot my dreams down like a loaded shotgun. You know what I mean? With the negative feedback, and I kept on. It's like I felt like, oh, you know what? Nah, man, I ain't listening to what they're saying. But psychologically, it defeated me, man, and made me just give up on all those different dreams. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's why, with a few things before this project, and then this triggered thoughts thing especially, I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna keep grinding, doing my thing. Doesn't matter what family say, what they think, if they're supporting or not. Middle finger to the lot of them. I've even done certain videos addressing them. You get me?
Yeah.
Like saying not names, but saying family don't support you. Cause I know they're watching. You get me? So when they're watching now, they're gonna think, bro, fucking no, he's outing us like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I've just been doing it. I'm letting you lot know you ain't stopping this motherfucker, man. I'm going, bruv. Understand?
Yeah. You're doing
So
it
yeah,
regardless.
this is it. You know what I'm saying? So now they know, man. I changed my mindset now. You get me?
And this is what it is, because sometimes we do, like I've done it. I've looked to my family for the validation and that, and then do you know what? When I actually look at them and you strip them down, I'm like, fuck you. I don't need your validation because you're a mess. You get me? Like you're actually a mess. I don't even need your validation. But and I feel like that we're all growing, we're all learning, and we're all trying to elevate and become the best version of ourselves, And none of us are perfect, but they're the people. What I find ironic is the people that we seek the validation from, are always the messiest of people, Like behind closed doors, on the surface, they might look squeaky clean or whatever, and like they got all their shit together, but they ain't got shit together, This is why I say to people, because I was having a conversation with this one girl the other day, and she was like, "Oh, did you see such and such on Instagram? They've got this, they got that," and I'm like, "Don't watch people online because behind all that." When they're taking a photo where they're all smiling and happy and doing this, that, and the other, they've argued straight afterwards.
Yeah.
You cannot take people's highlight reels for real life. You really can't. And you can't watch people either.
Yeah.
You can never, ever, don't ever watch people. Only ever watch yourself. My grandmother used to say that to me. Only ever watch yourself, Because you spend time watching other people, you're going to miss what's right in front of you. And I'm not trying to do that. No. Fuck the validation. I used to always want validation in the sense of, I've said this before, that I lost my dad when I was 9, so the male validation for me, I've always wanted that. I've always wanted men to tell me that I'm doing great, or I'm on the right path, and I'm doing this, that, and the other. And I just find that it's the scummiest of men that I've wanted validation from. And then when you break it down, I'm looking at them, and I don't think that I'm better than anyone, but I'm better than this. When you look at a situation, you think I'm better than this. I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm saying I'm better than this, so I don't really need your validation. And now I've come, because I've grown into my own, and I've actually done the healing and the work that I've needed to do. I'm just like, the only person that can validate me is the person that I am today. Even the person that I was yesterday. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I love that.
It's so powerful, and it's very personal as well. It's never about anyone else, ever.
And them motherfuckers that you're trying to get validation from, man, if they're hating on you and trying to stop you from doing whatever you're doing, or not giving you the correct feedback, it's because them idiots can't do it themselves. That's why.
Exactly. And that's real talk, though, Verbz. That's real talk, because it's like, they ain't even got their own shit together. So how are they going to validate you? They can't.
This is it.
It's crazy, man. Dan, what are you saying, Dan? Me and Verbz have gone on a tangent. We need Dan to bring it back calm.
That passion genius. Let's hear it.
You and Verbz are going in, man. I feel, boy, I don't even know if I can even touch what you lot said, man.
Hold on. Before you start, genius, Chidzz, if you can just touch the comments, because I think there's a few flowing still,
Sorry, do you know what? I got lost. I got so lost. Right, let me go back. I got so lost. Right, I got so lost. So, shout out to everybody who's in the comments as well. Big up yourselves each and every time, because sometimes these lives are not what they are without the comments. You know what I'm saying? So it's really, really good.
People.
So young people like Tay says, the invalid ones reach 100%. And we've got young people like Tay says, that's why they pick you apart. And it's true. People they'll try and tie you up in knots and make you think that you're not who you think you are. Nobody can ever tell you who you are, 100%. Nobody. Nobody. But Dan, give us your spin.
So I was just about to trying to send some more invites out to people to watch this live.
That's good.
Yeah. This for a long time, I've been on social media for a while, and for me, you see this validation. I think a lot of people seek validation for attention. You know what I mean? I feel that people want a sense of belonging. So, you know, like when someone validates them and, you know, you put them, you big them up and they think there's something, you know what I mean? And they're just starting up. And I feel that, you know, even with people feeling that they're validated, it gives them a sense of boost, but it can become very unhealthy in terms of you become reliant upon that, which means now that if you do not get that validation, all of a sudden it could put you in a dark place.
Yeah,
You can end up
empty.
going through depression. You see what I mean?
Mm.
And I say that to say this, and it's the same thing where a lot of people, as you said earlier, they do a lot of things for attention. Some people go, some of the stuff I see online and they think to themselves like, wow, you do that just to get your views, your likes up, even though you're degrading yourself. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so people do, I think people, especially in this day and age, the social media age, they will do things, you know, just for attention. And, you know, if they know that they'll get validation from it, does that mean they'll continue to keep up that facade? You see what I mean? I feel that as well, social media has a big part to play in it because you find that a lot of people want to be social media celebrities. You know what I mean? And that's what I call it. You know what I mean? Social media celebrities. And, you know, and, you know, the dangerous thing about that is that, you know, the person that you portray to be, especially if you're someone that maybe has a large following, the problem that you have now is if you have all this so-called validation now, yeah, on social media, but you know, how is your life really in real life? Are you validated in real life?
Exactly.
Minus the social media, minus the Facebook, minus the Snapchat. I could go on, is what I mean? And it's like people are how people portray themselves to be on social media. You find that a lot of them, especially these people with the millions of followers, they're really sad in real life. They're not happy people.
Especially
I mean?
the millions of bought followers, because
yeah,
you know when you do your little research, like I don't really dig into people because I don't give a fuck, but sometimes I have looked and I'm like, right, how many fake followers have you got?
Yeah, no, it's true. You know, and even saying that, you know, if the validation now, you know, slowly departs, it can affect it. I believe it can affect a person's mental wealth, you know, mental health, well-being. You see what I mean? Because you know, where all of a sudden now you become the center of attention. If that now suddenly dwindles away, you now are back at that place where you was. You become that lonely person. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, guys, like, I said to Verbs, I would never ever want to be someone that's famous or, you know, in the limelight because it comes with a lot of responsibility. I'll give you a prime example. You know, people want this validation, but look at the young Philly guy for a prime example. Just imagine, Chidi, yeah? You imagine you've got millions of followers, yeah? You now are in the limelight. You have to make sure you're circumspect, you're clean, because now the eye is on you. So the minute you put a foot wrong, you're in problems. You go viral. You find newspapers. Imagine waking up to newspaper articles. You're in every newspaper articles are not for good reason.
Yes.
Just imagine. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, like I said to Verbs, you know, like, yeah, this, you know, we're trying to grow our platform, but we're good, man. Like, you know, we grow it naturally. We're not out here trying to pay for views or pay for subscribers. Everything that we're doing is organic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's natural. And, you know, even with this fame, I've come to realize that it's something that people have to really think about very carefully, because you see how we are. We're just normal people. We can go to the Odeon. We can go to maybe, you know, TGI Fridays. We're nice. But the minute you're in the limelight now, all of a sudden this person wants a signature. That one wants an autograph. So your life is no longer private.
Of course it's not.
So you have to really
You're living your
you know what I mean?
Through the public, and people will scrutinize everything you do. Everything you do.
100%.
You know, there's an everyday person might sneeze in the street. If you're in the limelight, you sneeze in the street. It's mad. It's a long day for you. It's going on. It's going to be on Shaver in the morning.
I'm telling you, man. You know. But yeah, that's most of that's some of it, you know, what I've got to say.
Yeah. No, I
I
know what
think,
you're saying.
mm, but Verbs, any follow on that?
Nah, man, I side with what you're saying, man. At the end of the day, you can't
Mm,
be out here trying to seek validation because, you know, like you said, when you're trying to seek validation, you know what I mean? Like,
mm,
you just got to be authentically you, innit? You know what I mean? And you
Yeah.
have to
yeah,
believe in yourself rather than trying to put yourself out there to people for, you know, some kind of feedback, if you get what I'm saying.
mm,
Some sort of
mm,
clarity where, yeah, you know what I mean? Where you go off of them, you feel yourself off of their response. If you do that,
No.
mm,
if you do that, then the same people that bring you up are the same ones that's going to be able to crash you down.
Facts.
yeah,
Because
that's true.
you're giving people control over you. They're your driving force. So
There you go.
imagine, yeah, you're sitting in a car behind a wheel, but you're not driving,
Mm,
and but the car is moving. That's mad. That's actually crazy.
Yeah, it's true.
You have to be the one who's in control. You really do each and every time. And Shantae has made a comment, yeah, and it's really powerful. I'm gonna read some of these comments out. So
Dante's dropping
Shantae says,
them lines.
dropping
Yeah,
gems. Like she
I
dropped
mean,
gems each and every time. Big up
Mm,
her because she's so. Do you know what? She supported us from day dot. She's a real one.
yeah,
mm.
Honestly, all the way in the US as well. You know.
right. Big up
Um.
Oh wow,
Dante, man.
okay,
Big
okay.
up.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. The
Big up
people. Do you know what?
humility as well, man.
Yeah. People. The people in the US, they support me way more than, but you know, anyway. Shante says, aligning with self is very personal. It's definitely you versus you. Samia Rex, I don't know if it's Samia Moore X or Samia Moore, but I'm going to read out the comment. It says, or people reflect who they are themselves at you. And that is so, so true.
Mm,
Again, Shante said, I learned a while back that not everyone is who they post to be. And that's so, so true.
mm,
Big up my auntie Rona all the way in Boston, US.
Yeah.
Shante said, one who seeks validation, one who's fueled by validation from others, risks an ultimate low if ever the crowd stops cheering.
I like
Big
that.
up Celia as well. Big up, I am Celia. I am going live tomorrow with Celia at 8 p.m. over saying on the Pole Division podcast, and we're going to be talking about unleashing the divine feminine and all the good stuff. So that's going to be great. So make sure you
Mm,
tune in tomorrow,
Mm,
guys. Big up everyone who's joined so far. But yeah, this is the thing about we should never seek validation from others because it can tear you down. I've
mm,
seen people in an absolute state, like you know, like I had one friend and she makes like cakes and stuff and she's like, oh, I posted content today and no, I ain't really got many likes, you know, and I ain't got this, and I said, but
mm,
why are you looking at that? I said, are your bills paid? Are
mm,
your kids happy?
mm,
Is your light still
mm,
on? I said, well, yeah. I said, so
mm.
why are you
Sure.
watching the numbers? See me, I'll post and I'm gone. I don't watch to see who's liked it. I liked
yeah,
it, so I posted it.
this is
I
it.
don't really care who liked it. That's
Same
it.
here.
If you like it, you like it.
Same here.
If, yeah, if you don't. More time, I'll just keep looking back just for
Yeah.
me. You know, just so I can look at it again. But I'm not really watching who's liked it or whatever. You know what I'm
Mm,
Mm,
saying? I don't really care. I
mm,
don't. That's why being validated by others is such a dangerous thing. And luckily, I was brought up by a woman who who taught me how to validate myself, who
mm.
always she taught me self-love, my mum, do you get me, and my grandmother and the women in my family. That was first and foremost.
Yeah,
It's
big
what
them
made
up,
me
man. Big
very
them up.
strong.
Big them up.
mm,
Yeah, man, big up
mm,
each and every time
Mm,
because and the men know as well. Even my granddad, do you get me, and uncles and stuff, and that's what we're based on. So I've been lucky, but there are people who are not haven't been lucky enough to grow up in environments like that, and
mm,
they haven't had that validation, or they haven't been taught self-love or
mm,
self-acceptance or
mm.
self-discovery.
Yeah.
So they're gonna look to other people. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it is about self-discovery. Remember, we're
Mm,
ever changing, we're
mm,
always evolving. So we have to
mm,
learn different versions of ourselves each and every time. So if we're trying to learn the different versions of ourselves and still keep up with what everyone else is thinking, see the conflict. The
mm.
conflict, yeah, it's crazy. It's
Not
crazy.
for real.
Dante
mm,
said, I liked it, so I posted it. In fact, that's me. That's me. Big up Scoops. Big up Scoops. Scoops.
Mm.
Scoops. If you're free, jump on Scoops. Scoops is a guy. I've done a couple of lives with Scoops lately, and you know what? This guy he's good. He does spoken words and stuff, and honestly, his art is amazing. So big up Scoops each and every time. But yeah, man. And then do you know what? It perfectly goes into the third topic, which is egotistical confidence. Egotistical confidence. Dan, I'm gonna pick on you now. I'm gonna make you lead. Egotistical confidence. What does that mean to you?
I think that's like you know, people that are self-absorbed, you know, sense of self-importance. They feel that they're the center of attention. Excessive admiration of oneself. What else? I feel that, you know, such people, you know, are seated on deep insecurity, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? You know, I feel that it's a cover-up of trying to justify or replace something that they don't have, if that makes sense. You know,
good answer. I like that.
You know, and I think once again, you know, that even can fall into the category of, you know, potential, you know, mental health.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know, because, you know, there's nothing wrong with one being confident, but, you know, when you now have an exaggerated, you know, perception of yourself, it's a problem. You know, there was an individual that I noticed, you know, 24 hours just pure selfish, you know, trend. I'm like, wow, just, you know, and I made a joke, but then I had to say, no, this is unhealthy.
Yeah, very.
You know, just, I mean, very, very unhealthy. And, you know, you can run the risk of being self-absorbed, you know, self-infatuated. This is what I mean. And everything is about me, to the point now you blot out anyone. Nothing that anyone else says matters. It's about me. And, you know, for me, that's a problem. You know, to be egotistical, I think, you know, it grows. It stems from somewhere. You see what I mean? And it's like, you know, a plant. If you're not someone that catches yourself, you know, in the beginning and nip it in the bud, you now start to take root, and it now shapes you to become something that you think is good, but ultimately it'll bring your downfall. You know what I mean? You know, people like that find it very hard to accept criticism. They're always right. So even if you being the friend or the family member that might pick up on those behaviors, and you might say, you know something, you know, I've kind of, you know, you might come, you know, you be polite about it. I've noticed that you've got some of these ways, you know, there's automatically a defense. Oh, you think you're better than me, or you're just jealous. They dismiss it automatically, you know what I mean, and they make you out to be the bad person. And, you know, what's that word, verb, that everyone talks about? You know, it's a word that I've been hearing for the last 2 years. You know this word. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I hate that word. I hate the word narcissist.
I do as well. That's why I said it.
It's been rigged. But it's a real thing. But you know what? People, they try to make it like it's a new thing. Listen, narcissism has been around from way back. It's just nobody really clued up on what it actually is. But it's horrible. Like, do you know, being around, see with me, because I'm an empath, when I meet a narcissist, I know you're a narcissist straight from the jump. So my energy will automatically just repel away from you, innit? And I've seen it, and I've seen it, and I've watched, like, you know, especially with women. Women are the biggest narcissists on the planet. Like, but we've all got narcissists.
You might get some stick for that, you know. You might get some backlash for that, you know. I'm telling you.
Women hate me for what I say about women, but I'm allowed to say it because I'm a woman myself, and I'm taking accountability. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking accountability. There's been periods in my life where I've been narcissistic because it gets you what you want. You can gaslight people. Do you know what I mean? You can do all of that. You can use 1-2 choice words, and you can have people in pieces. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's a terrible thing. And it's like, I just feel like narcissists, yeah, they're actually delusional.
Mm.
They're so delusional. Like they
Mm.
really think in their head they're really doing something. They're out there doing something, and they're doing everything and nothing but tearing other people down. It's awful. And I've had to say to people, you know, some of my clients, and I'm like, you do know you're dealing with a narcissistic person. You do know, and they're like, oh no, but it's not. It's just the way they are. Nah, it's not. That nobody is like that. That is either learned behavior,
Yeah.
or you act like that because you want to get somewhere. There's nobody,
100%. Yeah.
no
100%.
person on this planet acts in a narcissistic way yet, because that's the way they are. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And Sante said it's a mental health red flag that must be addressed through shadow work indeed. And Vibes says, I agree. Nah, for real, man, it's scary, you know. It's actually quite scary.
Yeah, it is.
Also, I feel as well when people bring those particular ways into their relationship, you know, it can bring resentment, you know, and it can also, you know, undermine trust, even empathy. And, you know, even when you mentioned this topic, I had to then ask myself, do I have any of those traits? Do I have any of those ways? Because, you know, sometimes it's good for us to talk about these things, but then we have to be, you know, honest enough with ourselves to say, actually, you know what? These very things that I'm talking about and discussing, do I have any of those traits within myself? Are there any matters or things that I need to address within myself? Because, you know, sometimes it's good to do these topics, but then sometimes we have to be honest and, you know, reflect and, you know, point the finger at ourselves before we point at anyone else. You see what I mean? But, you know, I can honestly say, you know, I don't have any of those ways. And, you know, people, I'm putting this out there, you know, if I've got any of those ways, I'm open for correction, man, all day, truly. You know what I mean?
100%.
I'm open for correction, you know what I mean? You know, because we're all here to learn, you know what I mean? No one's better than no one. And you know what I mean? If you're someone that can take correction, you're someone that's got, you know, the capability to grow and be a better person.
And that's what
you know what I mean?
It's about growth, and it's about understanding, and again, it's about self-acceptance and self-discovery. Again, do you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I know what you're saying, Dan, in the sense of when these topics are picked, I do kind of sit back, and it's made me see that, you know, a lot of people are saying, oh, you're always cussing women and saying women are this, that, but I'll cuss men too. Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying it's whatever fits at the time. But what I'm saying is I'm just saying as a people, like, as being a human, we're all human, we're all spiritual beings having a human experience. And we all have to pick our role within this human experience. Don't get me wrong, we have to exist in the 3D, but we also have to exist in the 5D. So sometimes the lines can get crossed in it, and we're all capable of being narcissistic. We're all capable of gaslighting other people. We're all capable of having, like, maybe a false confidence or whatever, because sometimes it kind of gets us through. But what you must be able to do is sit back here and be able to recognize those traits within yourself. It's when you cannot see past your own nose, and everything that you're saying is correct and everything you're doing is right, and it's just other people and they're hating on you, you're the problem. Because I always say, like, I will never judge people and say, because there was this one woman, and I'm thinking to myself, this woman, everyone seemed to love her, but at the same time, everyone seemed to not like her as well. It was so strange. And I was thinking, what is it about this woman? What is it? And then I was gonna collaborate with her, innit? And I was like, see me, if something don't feel right, I'll speak to God. I always pray on it. And I'll speak to the universe and say, dear universe, show me, innit? Show me. If I'm not meant to fuck with this person, show me. And I started seeing little things. I started picking up on it, and I thought, and then I voiced it to someone, and they were like, nah, you're just being bad, man, you know, you always did it. I had a conversation with the same person the other day, and they were like, you know what, you were right, you know. Like, and I just thought, there's this energy in it. Everything is energy. And when a person cannot see past their own nose, and they're out here doing everything for nothing, and they're not really progressing, but they're just out here just doing nothing, but it's everyone else's fault, and everyone's this and everyone's that, but it's not me because I'm a lover and I'm an empath and I'm putting all this shit out there. Nah, you ain't an empath if you ain't being real with it. You have to be real with it. It's like you can't just. People will take these titles, or they will read 1-2 quotes, yeah, and think, yeah, that's me. That's who I am. Now you need to dive deep. You need to go within yourself. The only way out is through, innit? So you have to go through things, and you have to go through yourself and the different versions of yourself in order to learn about you and who you are. And we got some comments. So Vibe says, I knew one narc that was the golden child, so it showed me that they didn't lack anything. And Shante says, yes, if nothing else, keep it real with self. And it's so true. If you can't keep it real with yourself, then what are you really doing out here?
You're done out here, mate.
You're done. You know what I'm saying? You really are done. Verbz, talk to me, man, about this egotistical confidence. I want to know.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it kind of short because I know Genius went on and flowed and raised some very good points and covered. He covered a lot of good points, man, that I was gonna bring up still. But what I will say is,
he took all your
I love
words.
this guy. You know,
I took all my
I love
lines,
this
man.
guy,
I have a
man.
paper. I
Yeah,
have
he
a
did.
paper
I like
here, and
it.
while he was talking, I had to put bare lines through what he already said, and I'm like, oh man, like
He
blood.
took all your words.
Always does
He
this
said,
to me.
always said, I
You
witnessed.
sometimes you and Chidi are a dangerous combination. Every time you lot are together, you lot keep saying things that wipe out my notes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
Oh
know?
my
Oh,
God.
it's
But
so funny.
what I
Yeah.
will say still is with the egotistical confidence thing, I just think it's people overcompensating for something that they haven't got. You get me? Something they're lacking. You know what I'm saying? So they found maybe something that people perceive them to be good at, and they over exaggerate it, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it could be, I'll give you an example. Man, them growing up in the ends. You got one brethren that is a gallus. He gets bare girls. He attracts bare girls. Yeah? So he starts to go to the barbers and trim his hair a certain way that the girls like, and he goes to the gym and makes his form look a certain way that the girls like, and he learns the lingo and the things to say to women and all them kind of things there. But when you check it out, blood, even though he's going to the clubs and drawing all these girls and got numbers, he's homeless. You get me?
Yeah.
He's homeless. He ain't got no yard. He's going to bare different girls' yards, but he's overcompensating with the gallus thing because he's missing something massive somewhere else. So that's what I see with egotistical confidence, isn't it? Like you're missing, you're lacking something, and
Yes.
it's like a smoke screen to hide what you're lacking. You know what I'm saying? Make yourself feel over important somewhere else.
100%. 100%. And people will do that. They will try to shine and in order to sort of mask the darkness that's going on in their life. But you know what? You will never truly shine if you don't do that shadow work. Shadow work is so important. You have to come face to face with yourself in order to evolve, in order to change the situation. Otherwise, you will constantly be in that, find yourself in that same cycle constantly. The universe will keep giving you the same situations until you learn. And I feel like this is what a lot of people with egotistical confidence, they don't do. And they'll say, oh, no, yeah, I'm changing. But then they'll convince themselves that they're changing and they'll just put on another mask to the world and just shine in a different way. So you think, you know what, that person's come good and they're elevating, when really they're just going lower and lower and lower. And that's not to say they're beneath anyone or anyone's above them. It's just that where you place yourself, like by you placing yourself on a pedestal, it's like standing on an invisible platform. It doesn't exist because you can't place yourself on a pedestal. Do you know what I mean? It's like there was this one woman, she put this video out and she said pedestals were made for trophies. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's your wins, it's what you do, and that pedestal it will be put there if we want to talk in those terms. It's there, but it's created by a bigger entity, something that's bigger than me, you, or anybody else. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not you. You don't create that for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's on third side of the story said people read 1 and 2 quotes and say that's me. Nah, do you know what? I do crack myself up with some of the shit I said. Celia says, shadow work is the best thing you can do for yourself. That is self-love, 100%.
Definitely.
Vibe says, egoists have a genuine belief in their own superiority and capabilities. And Celia says healing is self-love. And do you know what? It really is. And this is what, I think this is the big thing that human beings have kind of not, when you're sitting there and you're hating on something that somebody else is doing, or you're just like, you look at somebody and say, well, why are they doing that, or whatever. That's because something in you isn't healed. How are you allowing other people's emotions, movements, whatever words to trigger you? When you come, like you're not in a good place if people, like, I used to get triggered a lot. I used to fly off the handle. Honestly, I was disgusted. Like, at one point in my life, I was so disgusted, and I had to really look at myself and think, "Yo, I'm so unhealed. Yeah, I have to heal. I have to, because I can't be allowing things that don't even matter to consume so much of my life. I'm getting upset. That person's not even aware that I'm this upset over it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, healing is a very, very important thing for both men and women, because I think a lot of the focus has been put on women, and they say, oh, women need to heal, women need to do. Nah, man, we need to heal
both,
as a collective.
100% both.
We need to heal as a collective, man. Whatever race you are, whatever gender you are, whatever. There's only two genders, but you have to. We're gonna get
cancer, man. Don't get us cancelled, Chidi.
I'm so weird for God. No, but it's true, innit? That's a crazy thing. Oh, guys, I was talking about that. Yeah, I was telling the Nads and Tam. So my daughter, was in school, and she the teacher called me and told me that she's been put in APC, which is like some timeout bullshit, because she refused to address somebody as they.
Good on her.
The teachers, they reprimanded my child because she refused to address someone as they.
Holy abomination, bro. That's mad.
Like, to me, I think, do you know what? What you do is what you do, that's your business. As long as you're not hurting me or affecting me, I don't give a shit, innit? But, do you know, this is where I think school is becoming very conflicted, because for me, it's like, my child is a black girl, can go to school. She's been called all sorts, and she's had to broke up a couple people for saying mad words and whatever. But I feel like if you mess with somebody's, or how they sort of present themselves, if they refer to themselves as non-binary or they or whatever, the punishment is so severe if you do not adhere to that.
Not you feel that's fact.
Silly as that. But why would they identify as they and them? It doesn't make any sense. And this is what my child was saying, because it was an English teacher, and she said to the English teacher, you teach English and you're telling me by me addressing that person as they or them, that makes sense in the English language, And she was like, it doesn't matter if it makes sense or not, you have to address them because that's how they identify. So my daughter was like, oh, I'll identify as a cat then today, innit?
100%.
I'll be whatever I want to be then. And she said, now you're just being silly. And I just said to the teacher, mate, that makes sense then. So you're calling me why? What do you want me to do? Because I ain't going to tell my child she's wrong. I'm definitely not gonna tell my child that she's wrong. 2 seconds, we got somebody who wants to join. Young people like they want to join, so I'm gonna accept. Vibe says, does anyone know if members of school staff, etc., are under an oath? You know what? That's a very interesting point. They must be.
Yeah, I think they are still.
They must be. And this is, I can't, like, I used to work with children, innit? I worked with children for 13 years, and I worked in private education, because I never forget, I worked in a public school. And the headmaster's come and said to me, Diddy, I think you need to go and work in the private sector where it's a little bit more open, and you can say, because my mouth, I can't. If I see it, I'm saying it. I can't help it. I have accepted for you to join, but it's taken its time. But yeah, I wonder if they must take an oath, surely.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
half of these people are all Freemasons anyway. So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
majority of
yeah.
them are, man. You know what I mean? So, you know, even the education system is compromised. That's why we, as parents, have to make sure we do our parts if we send our children to school.
Yes.
Because remember, this education system is built upon, you know, building up these children to work for the state, to work for the system. That's
Mm-hmm.
why they will never teach these children things like the law, knowing their rights, how to be entrepreneurs, how to be business minded. Check
Yeah,
the school
yeah.
curriculum and tell me if this school curriculum is based upon people being self-dependent upon themselves in terms of to be entrepreneurs. You find all it does is teach you the basics so that the government can use you in the future
Mm.
to build their land and be what they want you to be. Does that mean?
100%. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like being in an army kind of thing, and we're just kind of we're conditioned. MSA says, my son got told off for calling his teacher a she. He said, so you're assuming I'm a she. She is a bloody.
This is getting ridiculous
That's
now,
wild.
man.
What's going
That
on,
is
guys?
wild.
I'm actually so confused. Sorry to the person who's requested. So young people like Tay, I have accepted you 3 times, but I don't know why it's not. I don't know if you want to cancel and then request to join again. But yeah, so what's going on, guys, in this school? I can't wait. My daughter, she's in her last year and she can't wait, and I
Mm.
actually can't wait for her to just leave. Do you know what I'm saying? But like, what is going on? What are they really teaching our children? I don't think people are actually looking into what the children are being taught.
Nonsense. That's what they're teaching the children. Nonsense. Don't,
Mm,
don't get me wrong. I know people exist in them things there, and if they want to do what they want to do, they want to do what they want to do, innit? That's up to them, yeah? But I'm saying, you can't tell me that my child is going to go to school, and because
mm.
you are in the physical form of a female, and you're going to say you want to be called he, my child has to live your delusion and call you he. That don't make no sense to me.
No sense at all. And it is
You
delusion. And
get
it's
me?
their delusion. It's exactly what you said. It is their delusion. If they want to live that, that is cool. And I've never got a problem with that.
That's what
I'm
I'm saying.
happy for you to, if you want to identify as a fucking light bulb, go and do that, innit? I don't care,
But
innit?
it's not
Go.
real. But it's
It's
not
not.
real. That's what I'm saying. You can say that you're born a boy and you want to be a girl and you want to be addressed as a girl, but it's not real, blood. Let's be real. It doesn't matter what you want to call yourself. It's not reality. So are you trying to make us talk like we're living in fucking, I don't know, some different dimension or something like, you know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. So I have to act like I'm after, and then what? With the way this government is as well now, what? I start calling boys she's and this one him and that one shim and that one day and that
Man
one
said
donkey and that
shit, you
one
know.
cow, and then this government in the next 5-10 years starts bringing up some new shit in parliament and saying everybody that's been addressing genders as the wrong gender are all going to be sectioned under the Mental Health Act. See you later, Mike. You get me? It's mad because certain things they bring in, they reverse and condemn later on.
Now,
Yeah,
I got to pick up on something you just said.
Yeah.
Man said shim. You said shim. You're fully taken.
That's the in between line. You get me? Shim. You get what I'm saying? No, but like it's a delusion, man. Come on, man. You get what I'm saying? Don't make no sense. And then you got to remember as well, these people, the government made kids take them medication to stop them from having, like, females from having periods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
They stopped that. They stopped that recently, a few months ago. So this, I think, is against the law or something. They're not doing it no more.
It is.
And my partner said to me, it's good that they reversed it, you know what I mean? And I said, why is it good that they reversed it? She said, because they shouldn't have done it in the first place and they're recognizing their wrongs. I said, no, they ain't recognized their wrongs. They've completed their target, mate. They've got a certain amount of youths to stop producing, and now they've reversed the thing. Their target's been achieved.
And that's what it is. It's to decrease. They just want to decrease the population.
Exactly.
They don't want nobody to reproduce. They want us to die out. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we're not. They don't want us to be able to.
Sounds good.
It's true.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I'm actually nah, but it's scary shit, you know. You know, I've got a teenage daughter, and bless her, she suffers when it's the time of the month and whatnot. And I went to my doctor and said, you know, and she said, I'm not putting it on the pill. We're not doing that. She said, there's ways you can control it through diet. There's ways you control it holistically. You don't need to do any of that. And I'm very lucky that I've got a doctor who's still like she's very hated, isn't it? She's very hated, but I feel like she's not going to stay there. They're not going to keep her there too much longer and make her early retirement, because she will tell you the truth. She said, I'll give her, if I give her that pill now, yeah, she said later on, mess up her chances of having children. She'll probably end up with PCOS, might end up with endometriosis. Like, she's telling me all these things, and she's like, so she's not going on the contraceptive pill.
That's a real one,
and that's
man.
a real one, but it's rare, because usually they'll tell you, yeah, take that, take. Do you know what I mean? But this is why we can't trust the pharmaceutical company, like the pharmaceutical industry.
They're gonna flag your thing, man.
I don't business make them flag me in it. Fuck Instagram anyway.
Tell them, sister. Tell them.
But it's so true, though. It's the biggest scam in the whole world. You go to anywhere and they'll say, yeah, take this, you'll feel better. It's not. It's just masking whatever's going on with you.
Yeah.
It's true.
Look at cancer. Do you know cancer? Yeah. Think about. Let's go way back. Cancer wasn't something that it wasn't common. It's common now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you sound like me, you know. I've been saying this. I remember it just used to be one or two things. Now you got cancer the blood, cancer the bone, cancer the brain, cancer the
everything,
penis, cancer the vagina,
everything,
breast cancer, bowel cancer. It's
scary.
Like mouth cancer.
Yes.
Like, what the hell?
It's really, really scary. Cillian says the pill disconnects women from their divine feminine energy. Of course it does, because I remember when I took the pill, remember when I went on the pill and I was so numb to everything. I had no sense, no feeling. I didn't give a shit. Like, it was horrible. I was just literally just existing. And it's terrible. And it's like, you need to, if we weren't designed to feel a certain way or be a certain way, then it wouldn't affect us. These things that they're giving us and we put in our bodies, but I've noticed people, they all like my one friend, every time she gets a headache, she's like, oh, I need ibuprofen and a paracetamol. And I'm like, no, you don't. Just go and drink a pint of water, man. What's wrong with you?
100%, yeah. It's true.
Good, man.
People will draw to they'll just take anything because it just masks whatever you're going through, and then it creates other problems as well.
Yeah. You sound like me, man. Bloody hell. Man.
Vibe says, my dentist told me that one should be using mouthwash.
I said no one.
No one should be using mouthwash, and is a money making scheme.
Wow.
You see it there?
I was watching on your yard.
I was watching a thing on, the coconut pulling, isn't it? Like you can use coconut oil and stuff. This is what I mean. And all this, honestly, I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm just like, I'm so like, no, not bad. It's got fluoride in it. I'm not buying that. You know what I mean? It's because it's so, when you look into things, it's really dangerous for the human body.
Yeah.
Really scary, man. No, not about it at all. I've gone up into it.
I believe you, son, man. I'm gonna stop buying mouthwash.
Yeah. Because the mouthwash thing, I just, do you know what? No, I'm not really into it. Yeah, and even if when you think about the whole concept, like, what does it do, really?
Nothing really. Apart from make your mouth smell all right, innit?
And burn.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean?
It's true.
It's so true.
If you want to clean out old food out of your mouth, man, use the water jet thing, man.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
You don't need to. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Maybe that's something we need to talk about, actually. I'm going to go and do a little more research. Listen, I can talk about things like this all day.
Yeah,
I love
it. If it enlightens the people, man, why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, because you have to
Mm.
school people on the things that you find out. You know when people say, "Oh, it's just a conspiracy theory," and how many conspiracy theories can there really be? There's
That's just the thing to make people shut up, man. That's what that
Of
is.
course it is.
Yeah,
No, shut up.
Mm.
There's truth in everything. Do you know what I'm saying? There's
It's
truth in
true.
everything.
100%.
So you have to do your research and stuff. But guys, before we go, as I always do, I'm gonna ask you to give everyone a couple words of wisdom, few words of wisdom. I'm gonna go with man like Dan first because
Hey,
I know he's a wise genius.
Mm-mm.
he's got
Yeah.
his AI.
Funny enough,
He's got his AI ready already, innit?
this guy, you
This
know.
chat
My, my,
GPT,
Innit?
quick.
my, my, my brain is
CBT,
AI.
the wisdom
Well,
edition.
my brain is AI verbs. You know
Yeah.
that.
I'm joking, man. I'm joking. I'm joking.
um, boy, what in terms of what we said in the beginning, or
Anything,
Anything.
anything that you want to put out there, anything that you think will
mm,
resonate.
well, you know, for the ones that are the egotistical one, or you know, or actually, let's say the people that want validation. I feel, you know, like, you know, if you want validation, get validation from people that actually care about you, that will tell you the truth.
Mm,
Your family and your real family and your real friends. You know what I mean? But in terms of getting validation from external sources, no, no.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing I'll add. Um, yeah, that's one of the things. Verbs.
Come on,
Um,
Verb.
people. I'm a example and a testimony of what I'm about to say. So what I will say, if there's anything that you're struggling to achieve in terms of goals or improving yourself or financial or whatever, I would say try a vision board. I've tried it.
Mm,
Not gonna lie. When I first heard about it a few years back, I kept dragging it out, saying, "Nah, man, I'm not trying that. Not trying that." And then one day, I did get one. Couple years back, put it on the wall, nice big one. Drew some
Hmm.
pictures, cut out some magazine visuals, and put it down. Got a blank check, wrote it down with a certain figure on there. Stuck everything together, and then come the end of the year, everything that I put on there, I achieved.
yeah.
Oh, well done.
Yeah. Yes, and this is the power of
Well done.
manifestation. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. And the law of attraction states here, do you know, if to create a vision board, you're bringing things to life
Hundred
because
Mm.
words are
percent.
spells. Pictures,
Manifestation, yeah.
yeah, pictures of visions, and you can. Oh, honestly, I love that, and I like.
Mm.
I'm a very vision board person. Got big ass vision boards in my bedroom. I write on there. I put cards on there, I put pictures on there, I do whatever. But if you can, I always say to people that is a very powerful saying. If you can see it in your mind, you can
Mm.
definitely hold it in your hand. And it's just like,
Yeah.
don't ever be afraid to think bigger than you are,
Hundred
because
percent.
that's the
100%,
goal.
yeah,
The
yeah.
goal is to think bigger than you are, because if you don't think bigger than you are, yeah, from your soul, yeah, not a place of ego, but from your soul. If you don't, then you're never going to progress. You're always going to stay stagnant, and nobody wants to stay
Mm.
stagnant. So I would just say my words of wisdom for this week is to just keep going, keep pushing, keep shining, like I always
I
say,
like that.
but also believe in what you're doing, believe in who you are and your sole purpose as well. 100%.
Mm.
100%. I like that.
Beautifully said, yeah.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Beautifully said, yeah. Beautifully said.
Guys, it's always, you know what, and this is a real thing. Like I'm very real on these lives, especially you can tell when I'm being real because I don't try and cut it short or anything. Because say, oh,
You're
yo, I gotta
always
go.
real, man. You're always real.
I always
Mm.
try to be real. I don't ever want to be labeled as a fake person, but I genuinely appreciate your energy, your support, and just for the fact that you just are who you are. Who you say you are is exactly who you are. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's very
Mm.
rare to come across people like that, especially within this day and age and this generation. So it's just I really appreciate the both of you and
No, we
both your energy
appreciate
combined.
you.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Trust
Yeah,
me.
man. Likewise.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And
Mm.
we're all gonna do great things, man, because we're not egotistical like
Mm.
that.
100%. 100%. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And we're still gonna link
Yeah.
up. We're still gonna link up at some point soon when you're ready,
Yeah, we
Chidzz,
are
and do a
100%.
in the studio recording. You get me?
Yeah, come on. That's gonna be great, man. I can't wait. That's literally in a real life thing. I'm on that
Good
100%.
one, yeah,
But yeah,
sounds
we'll
good.
have to have a little meeting about that,
Mm.
decide on some dates and stuff, and we just let's get collabing, man, because it's great. Like
Yeah,
everyone at Whole Division, we just appreciate you. We're in awe of you, man. And do you get me? You're doing great stuff out here. Please don't ever forget that you're doing. And do you know if you ever? Because sometimes I know it's when you're creating content and stuff, and you think, should I really put? Don't ever think that. Just do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Just do it.
It's true.
100%. Just do it.
It's true.
I
Now we
appreciate that,
appreciate
man.
you, man, and we love Whole Division too, man. Trust me.
Oh,
So
thank
anywhere
you.
where we can collab, whenever you need us, or whenever we can draw you in, or whatever, let's
Yes.
make it happen, man. Real talk.
Yeah, I'm
But
on that. Fuck all the rest of them. It's all me now. They're not even put it. Listen, I cuss the way. Listen, if you could see the group chat, the way I cuss, I'm just like, you dickheads. I'm going live. If you're coming live, come in. But
That's
no,
what
it's
I love about you, though.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
me.
very real with it. I don't listen. I don't do all that. Oh, it's okay. No, it's not okay. You're a dickhead. Sticky, you're a dickhead.
See,
True.
that's the South in your
We
bones.
don't do.
That's the South in your bones, mate. You get me?
funny.
But it's
Funny.
all love, innit, if I didn't care. But it is great. When we all get together, it is great. But just thank you each and every time for supporting it and for actually just speaking about the topics that I want to speak about. Because I want to bring realness to this. Like, because you see the everyday topics and the men versus women. I don't want to do none of that. I want to talk about real, like, don't get me wrong, that's real life. But I want to talk about things that it's everyday. Things that
Yeah,
people are actually going through, things that it's real. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So yeah, man. But guys, don't forget tomorrow. And I'd love to you too as well. Do you know what? I swear, people do say to me, I can't believe my mouth sometimes. When I watch back, I'm like, right, gee.
Yeah, bless
I
up
start
everything.
off all
Hey,
nice
man,
and
she
quiet.
supports us as well, man. So big her up, man.
Chidi, there's something I need to tell you which is important. I
Okay.
don't know if I should tell you now or live, but yeah, continue to hold the vision.
Oh, the
Yeah.
vision.
Yeah,
What's the
continue
process and
to hold
hold
the
the vision?
vision, man.
Nah, for real.
Continue to hold the vision, man. Does that mean don't let that vision perish, man?
I'm not
Yeah.
because I have done. Don't get me wrong, Dan.
No.
Like there's
Oh,
been times.
for real.
Yeah, like fuck this. I ain't doing this. Do you get me? I can't be bothered. Why people
Oh
like? Do you
no.
know? No, but do you know when I got to a point, yeah, where is I'm such an energy person, and I feel like sometimes when things drain you, and I felt like it was draining me, and I had to find out what that was, and it was because I wasn't really talking about the things that I wanted to. It was that. So I had to go back to the drawing board and I thought, no, I need to do this and I need to be myself unapologetically when I'm doing it. And it's just, and it feels great now because I'm connecting with so many different people. And also as well, just because other people can't make it on, I used to be like, oh, I ain't going on then. Do you know what I mean? But now
Right.
I don't care. I'll talk to myself on a live. I got business now. Great.
But you're
Yeah,
skilled
because
enough,
somebody's
Yeah.
gonna do
man.
it.
You're skilled enough, for real.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
proud of you, man. Continue to do the wonderful work you're
Yeah.
doing, man.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And guys, don't
Mm.
forget, tomorrow I will be going live with the beautiful Celia, and we will be talking about unleashing the divine feminine and a few other topics. So you can catch us live tomorrow at 8 p.m. But
Make sure you tune in.
make sure you tune in. And until then, yeah, man, trust
Yeah.
the process and hold the vision.
I know.
Bye,
Have a good
guys.
night, yeah.
And
Take
Big
see
up
care.
you.
everyone in
Bless
the
you,
chat
man.
as well,
See you
man.
later,
Thank you.
Verbz.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you later,
Enjoy,
man.
guys.
Yeah.
Big
Enjoy.
up.
Yes.
See you
Bye
later.
bye.
Chidzz. Bless.
Yeah. Bye, Chidi.